Welcome to Blue Collar Sports Talk. Here's a quick lineup of today's show for May the 11th. We'll start out with some Husker news. We'll take a look at the NHL playoffs. We'll discuss the NBA playoffs. We'll round it out with our final thoughts. And now here's our show. Hey everybody, welcome to Blue Collar Sports Talk.
Hello.
James there, and of course Daryl here on a nice Thursday, May the 11th.
Very nice. I mean, to have threat of rain literally every day, so you really don't plan much. And man, last few days have been, I desperately want some of this rain, especially say, 3, 4 in the morning when I'm in bed. But it's super nice outside. Super nice.
It is. I'm gonna throw this out here, and right after I discuss this, we'll talk some Husker news. But I found the weirdest article about golf, and it was an amateur guy, and he self-disqualified himself. Did you see that, the U.S. Open?
But I didn't click it. He was something about...
Well, I should say U.S. Open qualifier.
Right. It was something about the greens and something else.
Yeah, so this amateur, Tommy Cool, he disqualified himself from the U.S. Open qualifier. He set a course record, I believe.
Yes.
And he had a 7 under 64 winning score. And it has to do with replacing the divots. And since you're not allowed to do it, he broke the rules. So he disqualified himself by being honest and said, hey, I did this, and was not able to qualify to then turn pro and allow himself to go to the U.S. Open.
But you're supposed to fix your divots on the green, so I guess...
I read the article, and it was something about... It's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
So the putting surface for things marks, indentation lefts, and he was a fifth-year senior. He said it made him sick to his stomach. I wouldn't be able to sleep if I didn't tell the rules officials. So I guess kudos to you, for being that honest. I think once you get to the point where you're on the PGA Tour, you're going to realize you might be the only honest one out there.
Right.
Which is, maybe I shouldn't say that, but
right.
But it was an interesting article I found, and kudos to the guy for being honest. But he's got to wait a whole nother year to qualify.
And what sucks, I didn't click on it because I thought it was clickbait, and it was going to go into something like some stupidly random. So I didn't read it because they try to catch you at the title, and then you read it and you're like, that has nothing to do with that, really. So
no, I understand.
I wish I would have clicked on it.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Husker news. That was my segue into Husker ladies golf. They finished, I believe, 9th out of the 12-team field. It's the best they've done in school history.
Carried by that wonderful freshman.
So kudos to the Lady Huskers golf team. The Lady Huskers softball team are getting set to start Big Ten play tournament today. Yeah,
there was the upset. 12 Illinois beat number 5 Wisconsin last night. So the Lady Huskers will be taking on number 12 Illinois. They'll look past these Illinois. It's tournament time. So no matter what the season did, it's totally different.
Yeah, so the Huskers, they came in as a 4 seed. They had a first-round bye last night. And then Big Ten Honors came out. And if I remember, I'll try to put the link in so you can click and read the article. But we had Caitlin Kaneda, Billy Andrews, and her sister Brooke Andrews, Maya Felder, and Abby Newland, all receiving honors. So awesome, ladies.
First team honors. That's awesome.
Yeah. So great for them, and being 4th into the Big Ten tournament. The baseball team is not yet to the Big Ten tournament. They play this weekend, Penn State, starting tomorrow, finishing Sunday. Sunday happens to be senior day. I think today is on Big Ten Plus, tomorrow's on Big Ten, and then Sunday's on ESPN, I believe.
Yeah, and looking at the standings after that, they'll have Purdue right now, Nebraska in the Big Ten. This is not the overall, but they're sitting at 10-8, tied with Michigan State, Michigan, and Purdue. Like I said, they'll get Purdue right after Penn State, who's sitting down at 6-11. They did take 1 out of 3 against Maryland, who's currently first in the Big Ten. So, I mean, they're right in the thick of it. They can make a big jump. Rutgers and Iowa's at 10-7. So, 2 out of 3 these next 2 series, and they can get in that top 4, maybe get a first round bye also. So
that'd be great if they could. That'd really help our team.
Yep.
We have some great hitters and great pitchers. So I wish our men's baseball team the best in this upcoming series against Penn State. We need a good win to help us with our seeding.
Oh, man. And some momentum.
Right. So momentum going into the season for the volleyball team. We swept Wichita State in that spring match. And then our next one, they're calling it Volleyball Day. And I went to Huskers.com and I read some more about it. So they did. They sold 82,900 tickets. And in this article, they state the number does not include field level seating or indoor seating. So
okay.
I don't know if those are all reserved or how they're doing it, but they left it kind of vague to say, hey, we're going to have more than just the 82,000 there. And in this article, it also goes on to tell us about some of the other records that are out there. The largest crowd to attend a women's sporting event in the United States was 90,185 for the 1999 World Cup final.
I was going to say must be soccer.
Yep, between USA and China, and that was at the Rose Bowl Stadium. So that remained as the world record until 91,553 surpassed it when Barcelona played Real Madrid in Spain in the Women's Championship League match, and that was last year, March 30th, 2022. Then Barcelona broke their own record a month later with 91,648.
Wow.
Right. So,
unfortunately, I don't know if we can squeeze 91 into.
Okay. So I don't know how many the indoor club seating holds, and I don't know how many field level seats. But what I found interesting is they made sure to reference those records
the 90, yes.
in this article.
Huh.
Okay. So that tells me that they're going to try to get to 92,000.
Yes, it does. Maybe a little bit down the road or closer to game time, they're going to sell more tickets.
So I don't know if they include participants. I don't know if they include coaches. I don't know if they include reporters, media staff. I don't know about those 3 things, but I do know that they left it a little vague to say that it doesn't include field level seating or indoor club seating. And the previous record, what we're trying to match or tie, the largest NCAA volleyball regular season crowd is 16,833.
That's just going to absolutely be crushed.
Wisconsin hosted Florida, and that was last year, September 16, 2022. And Nebraska and Wisconsin went back and forth with, well, hey, we'll set a record. And then Wisconsin went, yeah, we'll set a record. And the biggest NCAA volleyball match crowd was set when Nebraska played Wisconsin in the championship match in Columbus, Ohio, December 18th, 2021, and that was 18,755.
Yeah, so you have the regular season record and the postseason.
So I apologize to all of our numbers averse listeners. That was a lot of number. But it all gets down to our volleyball fans in this state are rabid. I love them.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to help potentially break a world record with attendance.
And if volleyball attendance competes and is on the same stat as a soccer attendance, we're doing something right.
Hugely right. Hugely correct. Awesomeness squared. All right. NHL playoffs. I sent Roger a text today, and I wanted to get his thoughts on what's going on. So the upcoming series, we have Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers. I seriously thought the Panthers would close out. They didn't. Maple Leafs showed that, hey, we can get it done. I'm glad they did. Roger thinks that Toronto stays alive. He thinks the Oilers will get it done. And he likes the Hurricanes to close out this series. And he's going to take the Stars at home. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if Toronto can get it done. But, I mean, it's going to be, obviously it's playoffs. I almost said, well, it's playoff hockey. So, we'll start with the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers and Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow.
Yeah, so, go back, a week or so, 2 weeks, when this thing started with Boston, and they beat them 4-1, right? So now we come to the Toronto series, and I thought, Toronto would take them. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Toronto would take them. And Florida's goalie has been playing. This is probably one of the lower scoring series of all the series going on right now. This one has the least amount of goals being scored in it. And most of the time it's, only giving up 1 or 2 goals to Toronto at a time. They did just lose, what was the last one they lost? They gave up, I'm sorry, was it?
Game 4 was 2-1.
2-1, there you go. So even in the loss, they only gave up the 2 goals, only scoring the 1. Their goalie's playing great. A hot goalie is what you need. And all these other teams, your Devils, Hurricanes, Kraken, Stars, Golden Knight, Oilers, 5-6 goals. I mean, I don't know who they put in the net, but they're giving up at numerous times. Not just one game, numerous times. 5 and 6 goals.
So the Vegas odds makers have the Leafs favored, and they have them favored at negative 190. So that's a percentage of how many percentage points they feel the Leafs are gonna get it done by.
Yeah. And they're at home. I think it's a home court thing. I said it was. You have Florida scoring at least 2 goals every game until that last one. It was 2-1. Man.
Check this out. The overs and unders are at 6.5.
Which is weird because they've only scored 6 one time the entire in 4 games. They've scored 6 once. I'm going to take Florida to close it out on the road in Toronto. Mainly because I don't think Florida cares if they're on the road or at home. They play extremely well. The first 2 games in Toronto, 4-2, 3-2. Then they went home and won 2-3 in overtime. So, again, they just don't give up enough goals, and I don't know if Toronto can keep them off. So I'm going to take Florida to not only win tonight, close it out, get some rest as an 8 seed, shocking the hockey world.
Right. So Roger went with the Leafs, and I agree with you, James. I think they're going to close it out tonight on the road and get the series because they're up 3-1 right now. Yeah,
and it's not like a soft 3-1. I mean, not that they're dominating games, but from what I see and hear the hockey people talking on the different stations, man, like I said, between the goalie and their penalty kill, I don't know how they had such a bad season to be the 8 seed, but
Tkachuk wasn't there the entire season. He I don't know how many games he missed. He was banged up a little bit, so that's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, you can tell that they missed him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always there in the MVP in the last few years voting. So, yeah, Golden Knights and Oilers. Golden Knights and Oilers. Oilers are on the road in Vegas, and the odds makers have Edmonton favored.
Which is weird because this has literally been every other game. Not home court, not anything like that. Vegas wins, Oilers win. Vegas wins, Oilers win. And they were close first game, 6-4. 5-1, 5-1, 4-1. The fans are like, really? So
So game 2, the Oilers took it in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And the overs on this game are set at 7.
I would be comfortable with that, yeah.
Yeah, well, the only game that has gone to past 7 is the first one, and that was 6-4, and the rest were 6 and
6, and 5.
5.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Oilers.
You're right.
The Oilers won the last one at home.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden Knights took one on the road. Prior to that, the Oilers took one on the road, and then the Golden Knights won at home. So it's 50-50. So the home team wins one, the away team wins one.
Right. And they're waiting for word to come down. I saw this morning that Drysdale took a high stick to the face. And
have they said anything? What's going to happen?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're looking to see if there's going to be a suspension come down from that. I don't want to say it wasn't intentional or not intentional. You can tell the guy was doing it. You're down 4-1 late in the third.
Frustration.
Right.
Frustration /
Yeah. And that was the bad thing is it's a star player that gets hit in the face with a stick. I hope it doesn't come down to suspension where it gives the team an advantage, but it'd be something to wait for on, if you're going to make a bet on this game to see if that suspension comes through. I'm still going to go with every other game. I'm taking the Knights, Golden Knights to win tonight, and I'm going to say they win 4-1 just to keep the stuff going.
Wow. Roger went Oilers. He's going to agree with the Vegas odds makers. And James and I are going Golden Knights. Yeah, it has been every other one. It went Golden Knights, Oilers, Golden Knights, Oilers. So,
yeah.
So does that mean it's Golden Knights? And the series is tied 2-2, so.
And with the Golden Knights winning the first one, they'll take it in Game 7. I don't know. Yeah, this series has been weird, mainly because they're not close. You're going every other one, so you think they're a close matchup. But like I said, they're winning by 3 and 4 goals. Yesterday, I guess Oilers got up 3-0 right away. And, so it was an uphill battle, and Knights couldn't close. I think they got a late goal in the third or early goal in the third, something like that. But, yeah, one of these goalies have got to start hotter in the first period, 2 periods, and not give up that 3-goal stretch in 5 minutes.
We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of hot, the team that's hot right now, and that's the Carolina Hurricanes. And I know that's rough on you. So Carolina's favored. The overs are set at, 3.5, 5.5? Let me see here. I wrote it down, but I can't read my chicken scratch. 5.5. And Carolina leads the series 3-1. What happens? Do the Devils get one or not?
Man, I wish. And the losses, the Devils gotten 1 goal. In their 1 win, they scored 8.
At home.
Yeah, and this one's on the road, obviously. Hughes is trying his best. He can only be out there for so long before they have to rotate, get some rest before he gets back out. He has very little help except for Game 3, where they played as a team and won it 8-4. And it wasn't even really that close. They were up right away, kind of carried along, and was fine. I really want to pick my Devils to win tonight. And I will, more than likely the Canes, they're playing really good hockey. I can't argue watching them, especially their goaltender. I mean, good grief. There's so many one-timers, close to one-timers, or nice set-up goals, and that goalie's just kick saving and hands flaring that he's just stopping them. But
so you think the Devils, honestly, try to leave your heart and your joy of the Devils out of this. Do the Devils have a chance in Carolina?
No, not in the next few games. Even if they take it, they'll lose the next one. Even if they win tonight, they would end up losing at home. So, yeah, maybe they've already packed their bags. Good grief. So
okay.
Depressing.
And I'm not trying to twist the knife. I'm just
you're right.
You follow the Devils more than I do. So do they have a chance? And then you're picking the Devils?
Yeah. So coming into the series, I definitely thought they had a chance. I thought it would be a lot like the Rangers series. It would be 2-2 after 4. And then what happens in the best of 3. And they didn't. I mean, like I said, 1 goal. 1 goal in the first, 2 goals in the first 2 games, 1 in each game. And 1 was late in the game that didn't even matter. So the Hurricanes have definitely found the formula hurt the Devils. So, yeah, Canes close it out tonight, and then Devils go home, unfortunately.
Okay. I honestly wrote down that you were going to pick the Devils. So
You're right. If I do it unbiased and look at the team play, the Hurricane style of play does not play well with the Devils, and I think that's what's hurting them the biggest right now.
Moving on, the Kraken and the Stars is a series that's also tied at 2-2. They're playing in Dallas. And Roger sent his pick to me in a text and said the Stars will get it done at home. What do you think? Stars and Kraken?
Well, just like the Edmonton and Knights, this has been every other game. It has been, Kraken goes into Dallas and wins it. Then Dallas says, no, you don't. We win. Then the Kraken takes it back with 7-2 and wins game 3. So the Stars go, fine, we'll give you 6 goals, and they win game 4. I mean, there's literally 3 of the 4 games, there's been 9 goals. Now, if you want to go to hockey playoff games, this is a series you want to go to.
This is a great series.
Yeah. I mean, they're closer games than 6-1, 8-4. But yeah, you're getting 9 goals, 3 of the 4 games. The other one, you got 6. And they've been contested. Like, they've both been in the game until the very end. So,
the overs, Vegas odds maker set the overs at 6. Rogers taking the Stars. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Seattle takes one on the road again.
Yeah, again, they're going every other one. Each team are making their adjustments, and it's working. Obviously, 9 goals. I mean, these goalies are seeing some really good, quick, fast play, and physical. I mean, the Seattle Kraken and Dallas. I don't know if there's bad blood between these two teams, but the different clips I see, and they make a sure point of showing, oh my, man, they are, like I said, if you can get to one of these games, this is the ones you want to watch. So, but yeah, long story short, I'm taking the Kraken tonight because they lost the night before.
And what jumps out at me, the overall number 1 seed in the East, Boston's out. The overall number 1 seed in the Western Conference, Colorado's out.
Beat by the Kraken.
And I bring that up because now switching gears to the NBA, the overall number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, Milwaukee, is out. In the Western Conference, Denver's still in, but the number 2 seed, Memphis, is out. They got kicked by the number 7 seed, Los Angeles Lakers. And the Heat and the Knicks now.
So your number 8 seed Heat, a lot like the Florida Panthers, are virtually in the driver's seat. They gave it up. They had a chance last night. They came out, I can't say very flat, but definitely flat. And the Knicks squeezed out a win. Our boy Brunson, 44 minutes the game before last night, played all 48.
He is the first player since Walt Frazier in 1972 to play all 48 regulation minutes.
Yes. And it wasn't just him. The other guy, hold on. There's 2 of them, Brunson.
There were. I wanted to bring up Brunson because, to me, you don't get paid by Dallas, so you're slighted.
Right.
You play all 48 minutes, and your energy level was amazing.
Yes. For 48 minutes.
Yeah.
Grimes was the other guy, sorry. And he popped his knee late in the game, getting a steal from, right before he got a steal from Butler in a 2 3-point game. It looks like he's going to be okay. Obviously, like everybody, he's listed day to day. We'll have to see how he comes out. But it was a full team effort this time. The Knicks played, like they said, they're down 3-1. You got to play their back against the wall. I'm not saying they went in a little confident, but they had a 3-1 lead.
Did you expect the Knicks to get a win?
No. As good as the Heat have been playing since the Milwaukee series.
It surprised me.
Yeah.
It surprised me, but I was also glad to see it because 2 reasons. Being a Celtics fan, whoever comes out of this, and if you force the game 7, you just use a little bit more of their energy.
Right.
So I think it's great that this goes at least to another game.
Mm-hmm.
And And the Knicks to win at home, they needed that because now you're going back to Miami and you need some more. But when Jalen Brunson, I'll call him their star player.
Right.
I think he showed more than Julius Randle. Julius Randle is a great player.
Yeah.
So they're both stars. But I think Jalen Brunson is just showing a little bit more heart, and a little bit more grit, and a little bit more I want it.
Yeah, and he's more of, I'm ready for the moment. We've talked about just during the season playing at Madison Square Garden, so people have big games and big this and that, and, or they completely fall. And I'm not saying that Randall has fallen, but it caught up in the moments, few games that he has not went off. Brunson goes off for 38 and Randall has 24. But the sugar lining for them was Barrett, which we had talked about before, that I was like, dude, until he shows up, and he did. He put in 26. Can he do that again next game? No. Miami didn't even have a single guy with 20. No one had 20 points in that, and they only lost by 9, and that was a late with the whole fouling and trying to stop the clock thing. So, yeah, I mean, Kevin Love went 2 for 10. Vincent was 3 for 10. So, yeah, like I said, no one even with 20 points. They only lost by 9 on the road. I don't give the Knicks much of a chance at all next game. It'll probably be a double-digit win easily, almost probably wire to wire if you skip the whole 3-2, 5-7. But once they hit double digits, Miami will lead the entire game and put the series away, I believe.
I'm right there with you. I think they put the series away.
And that's Friday.
It is. That's tomorrow's game.
Yep.
And I don't know what happened with Kevin Love, but he shot 7 times from behind the 3-point and missed every single one of them.
Right.
Was 2 for 10 overall, like you said. Mm-hmm. Only had 4 points. Butler almost got to 20, and Bam Adebayo almost got to 20. He had 18. So the other big number that jumped out to me was being out rebounded 50-34. Mitchell Robinson, they tried doing the hack a player last night.
That was so funny.
And he made, I want to say 2 out of 4, which was better than they expected, but then Thibodeau subbed him out.
And from the replay I watched, when he made it, they made a point of putting this in there. Dude, the crowd went ballistic. The second time they fouled him.
They did.
He made the first one. The crowd went nuts. Then he makes the second one. I mean, it was like game-winning free throws for them. And then he gets pulled. And then, of course, he can come back in because under the 2 minutes, it's the whole hack-a-shack rule. If you guys aren't too familiar, to speed up the game and keep it going, they don't let you foul a guy away from the ball under the 2-minute spot. So, yeah, he came back in, and, I mean, he's a nice guy in the middle for him. He really helps them out.
Well, and while he was out, Hartenstein, the guy that he was replaced with, did a great job of rebounding.
Yes.
Did a great job of rebounding and closed out some defensive plays. Yep. The Vegas odds makers have the Heat favored tomorrow by 5 and the over set at 208.5. I want the Knicks to win.
Fact.
To force a game 7.
Exactly.
Roger has them forcing a game 7. He's taking the Knicks. But I feel the Heat get it done tomorrow.
Yep. Butler slightly tweaked an ankle, but he played on. He should be all right. My 50 cents would go with the Heat and given the points for Friday's game.
Yeah. I don't think 5 is going to be even remotely close. I think they win by 12.
Yeah. So it's going to be a double-digit win, I believe. Like I said, in Miami, man, the Heat just playing extremely well. Spoelstra and company are getting it done.
An 8 seed.
Right.
An 8 seed.
And they look, when you're watching them play, they look like a 4 or 5 seed.
They do.
Mean, yeah.
It's the playoff version of Miami.
Right. And, let's go all the way back to the play-in. They were literally down, I want to say double digits to the Bulls in the second half of that game. And then whatever switch hit, I don't know if it was in a huddle, someone getting fouled, someone said something I don't know what the switch was, but they went on, came back, beat the Bulls after being down double digits, go on to be the sacrificial lamb to the Milwaukee Bucks, beat them 4-1, and now move on to, again, on the road or, no home court favor, and about to probably beat the Knicks 4-2.
Yeah.
That is crazy for an NBA team.
there were times that I felt that Miami got on a roll, and I was like, oh my gosh, the Knicks are going to let them come back into this. But then, honestly, Jalen Brunson put them on their back. And I shouldn't just say Jalen Brunson. It was a team effort, but it stands out to me the amount of effort that he puts in, game out, every game.
Yep.
And R.J. Barrett, unfortunately, doesn't do it. So if R.J. Barrett can match Jalen Brunson's energy, wow. So that brings me to a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar quote. A lot of players think the game is all about individual performances when it's really all about a team game.
Right, and that was be my question on that quote is, Miami, every team has their big three. That's the new thing, right? The big three. And when I look at Miami, I don't think they have a big three because all these guys would just be normal people in any other team, just like they are on this one. But, I mean, the only ones that really stand out to me would be Butler, obviously, and Adebayo. And then it's a pick of the litter. Is it Strauss for you? Or are you a Kyle Lowry fan? Are you a Robinson fan? Or even a Kevin Love who doesn't even play 20 minutes a game? To me, that's what makes this team so good is they're 9, 10 deep on the bench.
Truly.
And all of them come in and do what they're supposed to and win. So to only have two with Butler on the guard side, Adebayo the center, and then, like I said, as a Heat fan, which one's your guy? But on the Knicks, you flip it over and you have, obviously, Randall and Brunson's your two guy, and then you have Barrett. Not too scary, but when I come into the series, when we picked the Knicks, I was like, okay, well, Miami only has Butler and Adebayo. And the Knicks have these guys, and Reed was playing well or whatever. So, I'm sorry, not Reed. Robinson, the center, was playing really well in that series before. And, man, Miami just said, like you said just now in your quote, it's about the team game, which we'll get to in a minute, is Boston and Golden State having to relearn that. And, yeah, so Miami's making it work. So, yeah, they definitely take care of it.
And they still kept it close. 9.
Yeah. Right.
9 isn't that big of a blowout. Right. When you're on the road and you're shooting 30% from 3, so you had an off night, and you keep it within 9. I think that's huge.
Huge.
So I'm going to give you one more former Lakers great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar quote. I don't get a big charge out of being the leading scorer of the game. The object of competing is winning. I just try to do what has to be done for us to win. That might be anything at the time, and that's defense, rebounding, or passing. I get great satisfaction out of being a team player. So that leads us into the Lakers and the Warriors series. The Lakers and the Warriors series. So you said you got to watch key highlights of last night's game.
I did. They had a little bit of a late replay. So, I'm sorry. One thing I noticed was Golden State, and I hope Boston takes note. If you're listening, Celtics, take note. Curry early was getting other people involved. Draymond Green had 20 and 10.
He was possessed last night.
Wiggins showed up, and I don't think it wasn't Wiggins not showing up these other games. They didn't get him involved early. Some of these players, you have to get them their shots early, let them kind of get in the groove, get the feel. I think Curry and Kerr talked, I don't know, even Thompson, who had one of his better games. I take that back. Thompson did not. It was Peyton had one of his better games. Thompson was only 3 for 12, but they started, he rotated the ball as rolling the point guard because this is new. Curry wasn't the point guard, but now he's taking over guard duties, getting these guys with nice little bounce passes, penetration, open shots. And Lakers did keep it close for the most part. But as a team, they had 6 guys in double digits for Golden State. 6 people double digits. Curry only scored 27, and they put up 121 points.
So the Lakers were out-rebounded 18-17 in the first half and 48-38 overall. The Lakers scored 20 points off the Warriors' turnovers, but then the Lakers committed 16 turnovers, and that led to 20 Warrior points. So somebody said James has squandered a 3-1 lead, but you're playing the Warriors. Now they go back to L.A., And the Warriors can win on the road. They don't do it well.
But they have done it in the playoffs for sure. Yep.
But they haven't done it in this playoffs.
No.
And Lakers took game 1 in Golden State, which is huge.
Right. Fact.
Now, 6 Warriors are counted for 7 first quarter threes. Golden State made only 12 in game 4. But Golden State in game 5s are 16-4, 8-2 when facing elimination. And I don't think that Vegas has it wrong. Vegas has Friday night's game as the LA favored by 2 with overset at 222. Rodgers taking the Warriors to force a game 7. I think Lakers get it done at home, even if Anthony Davis is out with a concussion. Because I think Hachimura and I think Reeves and I think Lonnie Walker play just as good as Anthony Davis when need be, and go.
If Anthony Davis got a concussion off of that hit that we have all seen 20 times as it was replayed numerous times on the morning shows, watching it this morning over and over and over, and I'm like, I don't even know if you can get a concussion from getting hit in that right here. But I'm not a head doctor. And
I think you can. It was an elbow.
No, it wasn't an elbow. It was here.
Oh.
It was literally the forearm. I mean, and it wasn't like a hard down, like he was coming down from jumping. He went to, box him out, so his arm was going up, not down. I think it was more of a vision thing, not a daze thing, when he was wobbly.
I don't know personally.
Yeah.
During the telecast, they said that they had to wheel him out in a wheelchair.
Right.
And that he was wobbly and they had to hold on to him.
Yes. And when you watch it initially, he puts his hand on his eye and he's sitting down on the bench for a little bit when they were showing this big thing to show the wobbly. To me, I think it was a vision thing. I think his vision was blurry and it was the walking thing. In my opinion, I will go opposite of you. I'm with 100% with Roger. And one thing that it leads me that way is LeBron played 39 minutes. I said, which we all would talked about, if the Lakers were down and losing, they would let them sit and rest them because they need to be ready for the next game. And they can't exert a lot of energy. And the Lakers' defense, they wanted to win. I mean, they were down 16, 2:30 some left. They put LeBron back in to close out the third, and they make it to 11 points. So you're starting the fourth quarter on a bit of a run, only down 11. So I get why LeBron was in there. You want to finish this game out here at home, at Golden State. You don't want to go another game. LeBron played a little bit more in that fourth quarter. It started getting out of hand. They pulled him, but he put in 39 minutes. Reeves put in 36. So Davis had over 30, and it wasn't for the injury. With 7 minutes left to go, he might have played 37, 38. I think due to that, no, I don't give the Lakers any chance. I'll steal the 2 points and take Golden State, and I still think they win by double digits, especially if Kerr and Curry, Green are all on the same page on how they're going to work this offense going forward against this Laker team. It takes a little bit to feel out how a team's playing. I like how they played, and I'll take the Warriors in Game 6.
It'll be an interesting game. It truly will. And it doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong.
Right.
It's going to be a great game. I'm only looking at, and this is regular season, this isn't playoffs, I'm only looking at the Golden State Warriors road woes. And they haven't beat LA in LA during this series.
That is correct.
So I don't see him getting it done, and that's why I went that route.
Only thing I would venture to is they had to play at Sacramento in Game 7, backs against the wall. Well, I guess it was tied 3-3, but still, they're on the road, and they played amazing. I mean, I don't know if it was their defense. Sacramento Young didn't know how to shoot the ball all of a sudden. But that game was over in the first quarter on the road. So, yeah, I agree with you. Yet, when you lose first game at home, you need to steal one on the road, and Golden State hasn't been able to do that from the Lakers yet. And I really thought game 3 they would have, but they didn't. Or game 4, obviously. But no, I do think that Kerr is an amazing coach. I said it. He makes adjustments, and I might, let me go out on a limb, not, call me Nostradamus. I think he's going to be the next Popovich, where he sees the game from a different angle, makes the right adjustments, and he might go on a run like Pop did with the Spurs.
That could happen.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't like either team in this series. I'm really a big fan of the next 2 teams we're going to talk about if they're next.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So we'll put a pin in that. You're taking Warriors. Roger's taking Warriors. Yep. I'm taking Lakers.
So if that's being said, then Game 7 will be Sunday. So just so we can finish it out for the fans, Game 7 will be at home for Golden State if they force a Game 7, which I believe they will. And I will take Golden State. They're sure they're going to be favored by 2 or 3 points at home. I will take Golden State's going to win out and beat the Lakers in 7. I'll say now because we won't have a show between now and then.
It could definitely happen.
Right.
You never know.
Right. Fact.
A Kareem Abdul-Jabbar quote to take us into this next game.
Okay.
And before I get to the quote, James, again, is in a Celtics hat, Celtics shirt, Celtics shoes. He's got Celtics headphones on.
I'm trying to give much love to the green.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar once said, "One man can be a crucial ingredient on a team, but one man cannot make a team." Jason Tatum, I want you to listen to that, and I want you to think about that over and over and over and over. In the last 3 years that I've known James, he has used a phrase called hero ball. He forgets that he's on a team. He gets the ball. He dribbles around. He tries to, out fake a player. He tries to break their ankles every single time. Doesn't always work. He forgets how to pass.
Until there's 1 second on the shot clock.
And he either throws it to a player who's not quite ready and the buzzer goes off for the time clock, or he's hoping to get a foul call and he doesn't get it. So right now, the Celtics are behind in this series. The 76ers are ahead 3-2. The overs are set at 212, and they're in Philly. And I hate to say it, Philly closes them out. Philly closes them out tonight.
So, what was that, Sunday? The overtime game? Just what you just said is my problem right now is tie game, end of regulation. It is a tie game. A layup wins it. They dribble the ball down. They don't call timeout. I have no problem with Joe calling no timeout, letting the players run a play. It's not like they didn't go to the finals last year, for crying out loud. Pretty much the exact same cast. Tatum has the ball. They run a thing. They kick it out for an open 3, which I get it's an open 3, but why wasn't someone cutting to the ball? Why not pop at the free throw line? Why not slide into the corner, a little baby jumper? Again, you only need a 2, and you haven't been hit. You weren't shooting that great from threes to begin with. They miss it, obviously going to overtime. Now, hero ball kicks in. And they had decent time. It wasn't like it was like 4 seconds on the clock. They had 10, 13 seconds run a play. Only down 1. Again, a layup wins it. They run a play. Tatum gets it, goes, kicks it out to Smart with barely a second on the clock. Smart, yes, he makes the 3. But it was still in his hand when the buzzer went off. Because why? He didn't get the ball quick enough. You know what I'm saying? This one I wish Joe would have called a timeout because it didn't work at the end of regulation. I wish he would have called a timeout in the overtime to draw up a play. Young coach, being out coached by Doc Rivers, obviously, the big man's Celtic rotation is beyond out of whack. I have no idea what his plan is. I don't understand why Hauser hasn't seen the floor more. Excuse me. I'm really confused on why, I don't want to mess up the names here. Blake Griffin hasn't got in the game for at least 7-8 minutes. Cornette, I know these guys aren't going to go out for 20, but get them in, get them in the mix, because this Celtics team, although you have your three names, if you want to go with Smart, Tatum, and Brown, they've been there the longest. But Brown falls in me what you talk about, what Kareem says, I just want to do whatever it takes to win. Brown has showed up every night. He's not going off for 40, but he's making the steals, making the plays, boxing out the guy, getting the dirty work done. The last few games, they've limited to 8 people, and that's including Brogdon, who rotates normally, and Robert Williams and Horford that rotate normally. Other than that, you're playing one extra guy. And, oh, by the way, it's Grant Williams. So, Joe's young, I get it. But on the flip side, where I know I dog Tatum, and I wish he'd be more of a team player, other guys have got to start stepping up. White hasn't had a very good series. Horford's been so far up and down. And Brogdon has not been there every game. So, again, yeah, I don't think they close it out. I think Celtics win tonight. I know I'm really long-winded right here.
No. It's good. I wanted you to go because I know that you're very passionate about the Celtics, and I think everything you said is absolutely true. Eddie House, who won a championship ring with Garnett and Paul Pierce, he's been joining some of the broadcasts to talk about pregame stuff with Scalabrine. I saw a quick headline, and he hit the nail on the head with this one sentence. We, the Celtics, cannot lose a basketball game by getting outworked. But right now, Philadelphia is outworking us.
Fact.
And it's not just the team, it's the coach. So You're starting Horford. I don't know if I would necessarily start Horford. I would bring Robert Williams III in and Grant Williams to double team either Harden. I'm trying to combine two thoughts here. I want you to focus on Embiid and slowing him down a little bit. And I think Robert Williams III gives them that better defensive edge. And I know Horford's a great player, and I don't think he has an issue coming off the bench. I just think that that's a decision that the coach has made that I don't personally agree with.
Well,
and that's why I'm thinking 76ers close him out for 2 reasons. 1, Doc Rivers is out coaching him. 2, Harden and Embiid can and will outplay you. Now, there's a couple nights that Harden didn't play the best. Those are 2 nights that they lost. The other 3 nights, they have outshined you. Tobias Harris, Maxey, Harden, Embiid, they're all hustling. Where I don't see that hustle all the time. And where it's glaringly obvious is their inbounds when they just kind of lackadaisically throw it. They did it against the Golden State Warriors last year. Golden State was able to steal a couple of their inbounds passes because they are being lazy with it. They're being lackadaisical. They just expect the other team to turn over.
Right.
They don't.
No.
You got to go out there and play. The other team is hustling the entire time. Every single player on that team. And when Harden is taking a night off, whether because he had too many shots at his favorite wing and strip club, Embiid steps up, Maxey steps up, Tobias Harris steps up. I hate to say it, 76ers close them out tonight. And it pains me because they are as good a team as anybody out there right now.
Oh, yeah. And to your point, Horford's in there because he wants the scoring. But if you put Robert Williams in there, you already have Tatum. I'm talking about starting the game like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Start it with Robert. You already have Tatum, Smart, White, and Brown. There's 4 guys that can either shoot the 3, get to the rim on their own, or dribble in and throw up an alley-oop to Robert Williams, which you're not doing to Horford.
They're not.
I don't need a 5th guy in there that can shoot around. Again, Horford is decent with Embiid. Robert is a lot better on Embiid. And the other thing is, the beard isn't driving through the lane when Robert Williams is in there. He has no problem going up against Horford.
Start playing defense. The games that you played, amazing defense, drove Harden crazy, frustrated him. He didn't play well. I want that frustrating defense.
Yep.
And we're going to move on to the next one. So you might see a pattern here, but I've got another quote. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 5 guys on the court working together can achieve more than 5 talented individuals who come and go as individuals. The Nuggets and the Suns. 5 talented individuals on both teams. Who wants it more?
Well, you say 5, but Ayton isn't showing up day in and day out. And I think that's what's hurting the Suns the most right now, especially the games on the road. My opinion, he should be a walking 15 and 10 guy, even a 20 and 10 on a good night. But he should be getting, it's almost like Shaq, where you should have double-digit rebounds just getting out of bed. And he doesn't. Very disappointing on his side. Phoenix on the road has not been great in Denver. 9 of 27 from threes, and they gave up 13 of 27, almost 50% there. Durant and Booker, almost like the Lakers with AD and LeBron. They're carrying, or Harden and Embiid. They're putting everything in there. They just need 1 or 2 guys on the other side, and I don't know if it's the bench, what it is. Obviously, we have said how much Denver seems to be playing. We wanted Denver to do this last year, and they didn't show any heart. With Murray in there, maybe that's it. Like we said, Murray didn't get to play last year.
Having Murray back is huge.
Yeah.
But also, I have seen a drastic improvement in the Joker's play when it comes to not getting a call.
Oh, yeah.
He acts frustrated for about 2 seconds.
Right.
All right. And then he moves on. And I don't know who coached him on this, but you got to keep playing. Don't let the refs take the game from you. Sure, I don't care if the call was correct or not, dude. Keep playing. And I'm saying kudos to you for doing that, Joker, because you're doing a great job of that.
Oh, fact. I think the additions of Aaron Gordon and Porter Jr. are huge for this team going into the playoffs, where you got, excuse me, Green and Brown coming off the bench, and even Braun adding his little bit. They're getting it from all ends. Even these guys, like I said, playing 15, 20 minutes are only going 6 or 7 points. One, that's a breather for that guy. They're getting steals and rebounds and boxing out and keeping the score close enough for when the other guys come in, which our other team isn't doing. But on the flip side, I mean, the Suns could still do it.
Is that who you're taking?
This.
Ooh, that was a big sigh.
Yeah.
You go back and forth like I do.
Because if Phoenix was on, if it was at Denver, I'd be like, no, this series is over. But they're at Phoenix, and I see Phoenix pushing it to Game 7, and again, we won't have a show, so I'll say Denver in 7. But I see the Suns getting it done. I haven't heard, as they said, if the guard, Paul, is he back?
There is a good chance that he's back. Actually, full injury report says he's still out, and that was as of yesterday.
Okay, so it's fine. I mean, they've won without him, so I'll still take Phoenix at home. Denver will keep it close. The point spread's 2.5. Yeah, I won't even. That's probably right about right. I would think a 3 to 5 point game, but I'll take the Suns today. Yeah, I'll take the Suns at home, mainly because they're at home. Denver is virtually, I don't think they've been beat at home in the playoffs, so they are unbeatable right now at home. So they'll take Denver to close out the series.
I'm going Nuggets. We'll close it out in Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton has a rib contusion, and Chris Paul is out. I don't think either one of those really have that big of a factor playing into how good the Suns are when you have Kevin Durant and Booker just playing lights out. But the last game that Denver played in Phoenix, they came really close. It was 124-129. And I think Jamal Murray and I think Jokic will them a win on the road. But if they go to a Game 7, I think that's great. Roger wants a Game 7. He's picking the Suns. So you never know.
Right.
So that closes out our NBA playoffs, and we're going to have some final thoughts. My final thought revolves around a pitcher and a batter on the same team that's also the same player. Ohtani. Yeah. How'd you know? So he continues to set records as he approaches a massive payday for potentially next year in his contract for next year. What I'm getting at is he recently overtook Babe Ruth in having a career pitching strikeout total for a player who has at least 100 homers, but is also a pitcher. Okay. And he needed a few more. So to pass, Ohtani needed a few more to pass Babe Ruth, and he did. Ruth had 501 strikeouts as a pitcher, and he has 714 home runs. Now, Ohtani is a long ways off from 714.
Right.
But he is currently sitting with 134 home runs, and he's struck out 507 batters.
Yeah. And, we're only in May of the season, so that's going to well go over, obviously.
Who knows if he gets to that 714 number? That's a nuts number.
Yeah.
Currently, Ohtani is almost at 300. He's hitting 294 with 7 home runs on the season. So hats off to you.
Yep. So my on this day in sports, both baseball related. I don't know if Roger, if you knew this, but today in 1977, Ted Turner, the owner of TNT, TBS, and the Turner Network, actually managed an Atlanta Braves game. I have no idea why that would happen. I didn't do
Publicity for
research.
Ted Turner.
Yeah, 1977 though, so it was weird. But he actually managed a Braves game. I apologize. I don't know if they won or lost. Also, our favorite Pete Rose at 39. We talk about LeBron playing in the NBA playoffs here. At 39 years old, Pete Rose in 1980. Not only does he steal second and third, he also steals home against Philly.
Wow.
I'm like, are you kidding me? All in one inning, by the way.
Oh, that's nuts. All in one inning.
39 years old. The Pete Rose, the hustle, the go, 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 go. That I thought was just amazing. Like I said, at 39, you're stealing home. Second, I'll give you a second. The pitcher's not expecting you. But to get third in home plate, that just shows you that this guy should be in as a player in the Hall of Fame. I know it's a broken record, but...
Yeah, he made the wrong people mad, though.
Yeah. But anyway, hats off to you, Pete Rose. A lot of the stuff in there is still Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, horse racing, and then hockey finals for today. So
NFL, this could set off a discussion with a lot of people along a lot of things. So
okay, great.
So this is a little sad, but also the NFL has set up the schedule, and on the 22nd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, we're going to have a Monday night game, September 11th. So first, I would like to say thank you to all the first responders in New York City that had to handle that crazy mess. I was working with the city of Lincoln, and I was doing a video shoot that day, and right across the street from where I was doing my video shoot was the federal building. And I was a little freaked out because I watched that plane go into the towers. I'm like, wow, what's going to stop them from attacking even more federal buildings? So I digress. NFL has set the first Monday night matchup, Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, who I don't think is going to help them any more than what they did last year, but that's another conversation for another day. They're taking on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and what I find interesting is talk about getting right into the division game right there. I mean, you're either going to be in the first in division or, looking up already. I'm kind of surprised it's not the Giants. I mean, they finished decent last year. Obviously, these are, again, Rodgers is a big name, and the Buffalo Bills, red, white, and blue. It'd been nice to see the Giants on this September 11th game Monday night, but is what it is. I'm with you. I don't know what to expect.
For his career, Rodgers is 2-2 against the Bills. Head-to-head against Josh Allen, he's 1-1.
Right.
But he's with a new team.
Yeah, in his first game of the season. So I know they get preseason, they get practices. I'll take Buffalo. I know it's way early. Maybe this might change when we see some preseason games.
Oh, Buffalo kills them.
Yeah, first game of the season, a team that's, Buffalo has some new receivers have to come in and do stuff. But yeah, that's going to be a heck of a thing. I hope they do a really big, nice opening ceremony type thing for that.
Even though it's in MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, Buffalo comes in and just wipes them up.
Also, so the official schedule will come out tonight about 7 o'clock. The NFL has released teasers. We have 5 overseas games, 2 in Germany.
The Jags got 2 of the overseas games.
Both in England. Yeah,
Yep.
they'll stay over there. So they'll play the 1 week, they'll stay there, and they'll play the very next week. So early betting, take Jags in that second game for sure because they didn't have to travel. Yeah, so 3 in England, 2 in Germany. Also, for you Lion fans, you get your first ever, since they've been having a Thursday night opening game. Back in 2002, this will be the first time that the Detroit Lions will open up a season. Unfortunately, they get the Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday. Oh, I don't even have the date. Crud. September 7th, sorry. And it's on the road. So an uphill battle for you guys to start the season. Also, you have the Chiefs and Raiders will be on Christmas. And that's going to be a Nickelodeon game also. I don't know if you have kids and they like football, Nickelodeon does a very good animated addition to the game. So it's pretty cool for the youngsters out there that are trying to get into football. And then Niners and Eagles have a New Year's Eve, I believe, game for them to NFC title game rematch. Sorry.
The only other bit of NFL news that I found interesting, and we don't have to talk about it other than Lamar Jackson hasn't started his workouts yet after signing that new deal.
Nope.
So there's something to be said about you signed a big deal and you haven't shown up for your workouts. So something's going on there, and it doesn't look good for either side.
It just puts them more behind the curve. I mean, you got all this week will be different teams will have their rookie mini camps, and most of this is getting the, hey, watch out for groupies, how to invest money, and rules of the game as far as like not betting, which, by the way, we've had a few players already suspended. Detroit released 2 off their team that were betting on NFL games. So, again, this is no practices, but it's more of here's your playbook, here's to-dos, not to-dos, warnings, and stuff to help out to look for in life. And then further down the road, you'll start getting your practicing mini camps, and hopefully Lamar, the mandatory camps, that's the one to see if he shows up on. I would like to see if he shows up in the voluntary, though. The voluntary mini camp where they go in. Same with Rodgers. I'm sure he'll be there. But if Lamar goes in the voluntary, that's a good sign. If not, yeah, that means there's still a little riff in his whole little, I always wanted to play for Baltimore. No, you didn't. You wanted to be traded, and no one would give you the money.
My day off, I'm going to rub that in your face a little bit, James. Celtics play at 6:30 tonight. We'll see if they can get it done. I know I picked the 76ers to win that tonight, and it just pains me to say it. I threw up in my mouth a little bit when I said it, but great night for some sports. Celtics 76 early, Nuggets Suns late game, and you hockey fans, Devils Hurricanes early, Kraken Stars late. So thanks for tuning in to another Blue Collar Sports Talk.
See ya.
Go watch some sports.